I am resilient. I trust the movement. I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. 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 These times are poignant. The winds have shifted. It's all we can do to stay uplifted. Pipelines through backyards, wolves howling out fronts.
What is up?
Yeah,
What is up, everybody? Yeah. I hope everyone's having a great day today. Yeah, this is like the fourth attempt at this episode here. Just because you know how life gets in the way. And that totally ties into my topic today, which is resilience. I'm not talking about resiliency. That's not a word. Who cares about semantics, right? I mean, I care a little bit about semantics. It really depends what kind of mood I'm in terms of semantics. I will tell you, though, the word towards, that's not a word, okay? My dad's a copy editor, okay, for a large corporation, and he has been for a very long time. Excuse me. So when I tell you towards isn't a word, you should believe me. You should believe me. Yeah, I was raised by my dad and my mom, and then eventually my mom kind of half like remarried. I say half like remarried. What I'm saying is my mom chose another life partner and they had another kid together and they lived together, so they were not ever legally married. That's Nick. I would refer to him as my stepdad. I was raised by my mom and dad. I have a sister who's 2 years younger than me, and I have another sister who's 11 years younger than me. So that makes 6 of us in our very main immediate family, and we're all still alive. We're all mentally ill. I can think of 1/3 of us off the bat who would immediately say, I'm not mentally ill. So I don't know if my immediate family ever listens to this. I don't know. I can't tell you. I wonder what they would say. I wonder what you guys have to say, my immediate family. Now, I bring that up because I want to say, I was kind of lucky. I have a strong family unit now. But I will say that we have not always been this strong. We have not always been as resilient as we are as a family. And I'm not coming at this from the point of view of my whole family. So I'm dropping that now. This is like the 4th time I've recorded this, and that is the only time I've ever kind of said all that. Not the whole thing. I've only gone at most 17 minutes in, and then I've restarted a few times. But on the outside, that sounds really good, right? But in the inner workings, each person has had trauma, and each person has had cyclical, generational, shit, I'm a very resilient person. And I've had to be, resilience is defined as the ability to bounce back and overcome traumas and difficult situations quickly and efficiently, to overcome them quickly and efficiently. And I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely an oversharer. I'm definitely like a disclaimer and a qualifier, like a disclaimerer and a qualifier when I speak. I will try to give a disclaimer or context about things before I even say them. And I'm definitely an oversharer But on Cuppa Joe, Cuppa Devil, as Peter calls it, Cuppa Hell, as he calls it, he's like, Cuppa Hell. On this little pet project that is Cuppa Devil, like, I don't know. Something just feels different about it. And I don't feel the need to overshare here. I feel the need to share just enough. And I don't want to give you guys a whole sob story. That's the thing. And of course, to me, it's not a sob story. Let me skip to the end first. Let me get to the final thought first. Here's what resilience looks like in my life. I'll give it to you first, The ability to literally overcome anything and to view anything that I overcome as an overall positive experience. Yeah, like I've had trauma with, like, that word is it's such a buzzword, like it's so overused. But no, I've been through a lot of therapy. I'm very self-aware. I know that I've been through a lot, and it's had big impacts on me. Each member of my family, we've gone through our own stuff. My sister's a type 1 diabetic. So health-wise, right? Like my dad has like hip problems. My mom has had cancer. My stepdad, he's a pretty healthy guy. And his daughter, my half-sister, Mary, who I never call she's my full sister. Like in my heart, she's my full sister. Like we're best friends. They're pretty healthy overall. And I'm like, my mental health has caused physical problems for me. So like on that physical health, like we've had struggles. We each have mental health issues, for sure. And we've all overcome them together and separately. We've caused each other problems together and separately. But I'm a child of divorce. I've like seen like my mom suffers with like addiction, and like I've seen things that I shouldn't see. I've experienced things that like a kid shouldn't experience, and you can define like my mom taking me to a bar, like on a Friday night where there's like in like a really shitty, like I did not grow up in like a gray area. So like between my mom and all her friends, there was like 3 teeth and like 47 cigarettes smoked. So like my mom would like, take me and my sister to the bar, and like she knew the person who owned the bar, and everyone who went to the bar, they were all friends, and they all, swapped spit on the same crack pipe. And so they would take us, and like there were other kids there. I mean, it was really like a family bar. Now, of course, that sounds horrible. Of course, that's not morally or ethically the right thing to do for a child. But I learned, at this place in my life, 24 years old, having gone through therapy, gone through everything, I can look back at that experience and see the positive things that I've gained from it. So, that's just an example. There was a time that I was, like, I got way too drunk. I don't drink anymore, but when I did drink, it was a problem. I believe I'm allergic to alcohol because it sends me into a fucking rampage, and I become an insane person and a wreck, dude. And I've gotten way too drunk and said things and hurt myself and regret and like done all this bad stuff, but I can look back and say, okay, here's what I learned from that experience. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be sober right now off the alcohol sober. The only thing I do is smoke weed. That's all I do. But I wouldn't be off of alcohol if I hadn't gone through the experience of like getting 20 stitches in my arm from crashing through a window, or like punching myself in the face. Dude, here's my thing is like, why would you ever want to fuck with me, bro? Because like, you're scared, you think I'm scared of you? Anyone out there, you think you could beat me in a fight? Dude, I've given myself black eyes on purpose. You don't want to fuck with a person who punched themselves in the face multiple times. Even the cop that night, riding his little bike back and forth, was like, I'm not getting involved in this. I was not arrested that night. Nobody was arrested that night. Yeah, dude, like, you want to talk about resilience. Damn, bro, I fucking punched myself in the face. You know? But, I'll come across, like, people at a later stage in their life. Usually, like, at karaoke is a great example. It's a great place, like, for, like, at a hotel bar. That's where we go for a mishmash of different types of people from all over the world can come together, because it's a hotel bar. So travelers come, tourists come, and then we have the regulars. And I've heard from many people, you know, you're pretty wise for being so young. They'll say, how old are you? And I say 24, and they're like, oh, yeah, you have a lot of wisdom for such a young age. But I've always been told that I was an old soul. So that's kind of not new to me, but I think a lot of it has to do with every time you overcome a difficulty, you become stronger. And nothing lasts forever. These are the things that I've learned. Like, literally nothing lasts forever. You know, if you want to get philosophical, what is reality but your perception of it? So sure, to you or me, in our perception that we know of, forever could be the moment we are born to the moment we die, or the moment we are consciously aware to the moment we are consciously not aware of life on earth. So yeah, maybe things, if you believe that you don't go anywhere after you die and forever is just your existence on earth, sure, your heart beats forever until it doesn't, sure. But I mean, like, nothing lasts forever. As a woman, I hope the other women out here listening to this, I know you're going to know what I'm talking about. Like going to the gynecologist, getting a pap smear. It sucks, dude. It sucks. Like, they put this fucking medieval metal contraption into your vagina, onto your cervix, and fucking, like, they crank it like it's like a guillotine. Like, they crank it, and it slowly stretches your cervix open, and then they stick like a 3-foot long Q-tip in there, and they fucking like swab like the underside of your lungs, like through your vagina. Like, it's crazy, dude. That swab like peeks out your eye. I'm so sorry. That swab literally like peeks out the corner of your eye. They put it in there so far, dude. Like, they can put that swab in and tell you if you have pink eye in your brain, for real. And that is a horrible moment, especially if you have sexual trauma. Oh God, dude, that's no fun. It's no fun at all. And you can be cognizant in the moment that this is a medical procedure. I have consented to this. That I am safe with this person. Like, whatever. Or you can be like, it's almost over. The whole time it's happening, it's literally so close to being over. Every second it gets closer and closer to not happening anymore. And that's kind of like the work that I put in to, when I was pregnant, to my preparation for childbirth. I know there are women who prepare for childbirth physically more than men, like more than any, like, you know, like they sit on like the little birth ball and like roll their hips around. I would have done that, but truly I prepare myself mentally more than anything. And that is because I've been confronted with my own flaws, like so much that, not flaws, I don't know, I kind of didn't like that when I said it. Let me think. Like, I've been confronted with situations that are difficult that I have navigated unsuccessfully and came out worse for the wear, at the end. And this time with something so important as another human life. And not only just a human life, but a human life that can't do anything for itself, a newborn baby. I knew that I had to be there, and I knew that I had to be as present and as healthy and as ready as I possibly could be. And that's why I thank situations in my past, like getting so drunk that I punched myself in the face at my own 21st birthday party. Like, or when I was like, I'm going to say it one time and that's it. Trigger warning right now. That's all I'm saying. I did not advertise this podcast as something that was going to be triggering. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a trigger warning. But I will say, if you don't want to hear anything fucked up, like, just leave. Like, I would not listen to this. Like, I'm going to go there. Like, that's just who I am. But I did experience like a pretty deranged sexual assault. Like, I went through something that was more like, two friends of mine date raped me, like got me drunk and we did stuff, and I was not able to consent at the time. And I went through that. I dealt with that. Fine. But this was more like the shit you hear about on the news. Like, it was bad, dude. It was not good. One day I will talk about it very candidly. But as weird as it might sound, that I called upon getting through that situation to mentally prepare myself for childbirth. Okay, because when that happened to me, I had to go to my inner strength. And I had already been through enough in my life. I started going through trauma from birth. My life has not been fucking easy, dude. It's been a great ride, but it's not been easy. It's been hard. I basically believe, this is a glimpse into my belief system, okay? We sign contracts to come to this plane, this planet, Earth. Some of us, or all of us, I don't know. I'll admit that I don't know for sure. It's my belief, my opinion. We come to this earth, we sign a contract that says, I've been showed the lessons that I will learn on this planet. Might go as far as you watch a movie of your life before you live it. In the cosmic world, time is nothing. Time is not real. So time is a dimension on Earth that we experience because we can't see it. I believe we signed contracts, and so before I came into Earth, I believe I'm kind of at the gates, and a cosmic council member is okay, sign here. Are you sure you watched the videotape of what you're about to go through? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, you sure you're ready? At age 5 this happens, and at age 12 you go through this, and at age 47 this happens. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready. Because along the way, you'll learn lessons A, B, C, and D, right? So I believe that. And I think that I don't know what struggles people like the Kardashians go through. But I will say that, for example, someone like Kim Kardashian, right? Someone who's born in America, with good looks and arguably good looks and lots of money and a big family, right? That is someone who's kind of here in level 1 or 2, someone I'm not claiming that woman doesn't have struggles, but I guarantee you they're not that bad. Compared to it's cake, dude. It's like you're a fucking millionaire. You don't like your face, so you buy a new one. Like, yes, her dad died, but that's an earthly part of the contract. Has rules, okay? You have to experience pain. There will be an opposite to everything. And death is guaranteed. Whatever death really is, it's guaranteed. You will witness it, you will experience it. So, like, she's on level 1, you know? Like, one of her problems is, like, she can't find anyone to pay to, like, push the button on her bidet. You know, like, that's, like, one of her problems. Whereas people like the kids who, the last 3 or 4 presidents totally all agreed on putting in cages. Those children that come from Mexico across to America and then literally get kidnapped, and then the ones who get trafficked by the U.S. government, they're on level 7,000. Like, they have fucking problems. Like the little boy in Africa that I talked about who made flip-flops out of cardboard for his whole fucking village, that kid's on level 7,000. Like, me, I'm maybe on level like 50. I don't know, level like 100. Like, I definitely have, like, I can objectively look at my life and be like, damn, some fucked up shit has happened. Listen, I just took a break. I had to feed my dog and my cat. And I also did myself the favor of switching to indica. My dog was just eating. I was giving him some time to just, like, because he was chomping so loud. Like I said, you know. Wait. Okay, I don't know. And looking at the monitor. Little baby's doing a little shift. Oh. I would say for me to be quiet. Like, I would be like, be quiet. But here's the thing about me as a mom. I'm not really the kind of mom that tells people to be quiet when my baby's napping. She, from day one, was destined to be able to sleep in any in any level of noise. Yeah, I love how this ties right into my topic today. Yeah, if you make the world silent every time your baby sleeps, your baby will only be able to sleep in silence. That's so inconvenient for you. So yeah, she actually sleeps. I realized like a week or two after we brought her home, after we had her, I was trying to sing her to sleep, and that's what I do. I sing. And then I was like, wait a second, she's not falling asleep. She's falling asleep while I'm talking out in the living room. So I just started like telling her Disney stories, but delivering them in my own words. Because she's a baby. She's not an idiot. She's a baby. She's not, she doesn't want to take a nap. She's like, oh man, I want to give into this sensation here. I'm going to close my little eyes. Oh, this is a nice sleepy sensation. Wait a second. Now I can't see what anyone's doing. Now I can't experience what everyone's doing. So they fight sleep. Some of them. Murphy's not too bad. She kind of fights sleep sometimes, but usually she just gives into it. And usually I'm talking, so. But since I was talking for like, the whole podcast straight, and then I took a pause and stopped talking because I was feeding the animals. But yeah, I came back. I did myself the favor, switched to an indica. She's asleep for the night, and Caden's with her right now. They're in the same room. So I just wanted to do this little. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned in this version of the recording. It's 11:30 p.m. This is supposed to be a cup of joe. It's supposed to be a morning podcast. I do have my cup of joe here. My point was, here's the bottom line. I was like, I'm going to start with the bottom line. And then that kind of got me into the flow of things. Resilience comes with experience, but can be achieved in any situation. Because every person will experience the worst thing they've ever gone through. Think about that. Let me repeat that. Every person will experience the worst thing they've ever gone through. Right? So for me, the worst thing I ever go through might be stubbing my toe. And for someone else, the worst thing they might go through is like their whole family like dies. Someone else's worst tragedy might be like being like an orphan with one eye. Someone else's might be, a paper cut. So we all have, and my point is mine is not any worse than yours, or yours is not any worse than mine. That's an incendiary statement, I would say. To say that the guy, whose leg gets blown off, to say that he doesn't have it any worse than a guy who gets a paper cut, and that's the worst thing ever. Actually, when you think about it, no, because we all, if you gotta be objective, man, and that's part of resilience, is being objective, because you have to be able to zoom yourself out of life, out of your own life, take yourself you can't take everything in life personally. That's the worst thing you can do for yourself, is look at a life experience and say, why me? If you get into why me type thinking patterns, dude, you will never be resilient. Why not you? Why you? Why did you get cancer and your brother got diabetes? Why? The point is, this life is guaranteed challenges. And the only way to keep moving on in life and to keep going forward, which is kind of the point of life, is to be able to move past your challenges, dude. One time I was perusing the internet and I saw this guy. I think he's famous. I think he's a famous YouTuber. And this guy was fucked up, dude. Physically, a very sad situation. He was a smaller man. His arms and legs looked like they definitely had some kind of growth deficiency. He was in a total wheelchair. Totally cannot use his arms and legs. He's probably 2 feet tall. But he's a grown man. He can speak. And he's hilarious. He's so funny, dude. And he's a famous YouTuber, and his wife is beautiful. And the thing is, I just said a lot of, interesting things, but to me, the most interesting thing out of all that is that he's hilarious. That takes a lot of strength. See, that guy's on level 10,000. To me, I look at that and I'm like, my problems aren't shit, dude. My life compared to him is wow, I'm lucky. Because, and I know some people who get a headache and their day is destroyed. I know someone who, if someone cut them off in traffic, they would literally chase them down the road and get them to pull over so that they could have a verbal confrontation with them on the side of the highway with kids in the car. Yeah, I know someone who did that, who used to do that all the time. And like, this guy doesn't have a body. Like, he has a body, and he can't even fucking use it the way that most of the people around him can. And he's literally, I'm telling you, look him, I forget, they called themselves something really weird. I think it was like Squiggles, like Giggles and Scrubs or something. Like, they gave each other nicknames. Like, it was like a weird little thing. I guarantee you, someone who listens to this will know what I'm talking about. Put it in the comments. I'm not looking it up right now. Yeah. So, like, if that guy can get over that, I can get through it. And if you want to even break it down further, like, what is life? Dude, I swear to God, I could deconstruct every concept until every episode ends with it just being like, everything is everything, and everything is, like, nothing is even anything, dude. We could be in a fucking simulation. We could literally be, have you ever seen Osmosis Jones? Like, that's just like water and like cells in the body, but they are like coherent and cognizant and conscious, and like they have lives and like cities. Dude, what if our cities, what if we're just like pixels on a computer screen? Like, what if we're just literally motes of dust in the air? What if this whole planet, it's literally like Horton Hears a Who, or like Seussical. I know that Seussical is all the Seuss stuff, and I think Horton Hears a Who is when like there's a little guy on a mote of dust. Like, we don't know what anything is, but I know for certain that life comes with challenges. No one. That's what the cosmos is for. That's where we come from. Earth is like a school. Earth is like a test. That's what I believe, at least. So, you know, and I don't know. I have definitely had people, I've expressed this idea to people close to me, and I'm like, there are some people who I love very much, like who have said to me, you know, like, that's a really privileged way to look at things. And I feel like I think for people who are suffering like with like after effects, and like haven't, like, maybe have not faced some of the challenges that they've gone through, this might be like hard for people to hear. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just being self-conscious and like making some random disclaimer that I don't need to make here, but I don't know. I think I just have like a feeling, I can just hear in my head people hearing what I'm saying about resilience and overcoming challenges and obstacles, and will be like, yeah, but you don't know what I've been through, so I have a right to be constantly upset and constantly complaining about it. You totally do. Yeah, you do. You have a right. You know, I have a right too. And not like, I'm not even just talking about like God-given American right, First Amendment for freedom of speech. I'm talking about like, you have a voice, man. You have a voice, you have experiences, and you have consciousness. You can mix all those together. You have you're your own person. Absolutely. Yes, we all have the right to feel how we want to feel and act the way we want and say what we want to say. But yeah, like, if it hurts your feelings to hear this about being resilient and about overcoming things, I would take that as a sign, and I'm literally telling you what I would do, like, because shadow work. We'll talk about shadow work tomorrow, okay? But because shadow work, like, I try my best, not all the time, but I try my best. If I'm confronted with a quality in someone that I don't like, or I get very bristled by something someone says, I ask myself, why does that bother me? Not all the time. Because I'm a human. I have ego. Like, sometimes, of course, I want to be like, fuck that person for saying that. How dare he say that? Why should she get away with saying that? But when it comes down to it, like, it's more like, why did that one thing that someone said out of a million things that a million people have said, why would that upset me? Probably because you can trace it back to something bad that happened, you know? And that's the root of shadow work, actually, which is a very cool concept in psychology and I think Buddhism. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of do my thing, talk a little bit, talk about some concepts. I don't want to just end on, like, if you're offended, like, some kind of, it was like a negative way to end. I feel like, I do think it needs to be said in this climate, like, in this world that we live in. I do think we are all quick to be offended. Because I think in the age of the internet and, like, social media, like, yeah, like, shared grievances, like, shared traumas, you know, whether that's cultural, spiritual, like groups, you know, like groups, labels, like groups of people, we, like, can commiserate over, like, the shit that our groups have been through, and I think that's kind of like, that's trending right now, is to open up and talk about the chat. I'm referring to, like, the bad things that can happen to you, like, in many ways, challenges, traumas, experiences, you know. But yeah, I think we are a lot more ready to share what we are unhappy with. But I see damn, sorry, I just gave y'all a moment of silence. I'm just gonna leave it in there. Hope you had a chance to think of, like, your dead hamster from when you were, like, 3, or, like, give out, like, a shout out to the lost homies, like, the guys, all them homies who got lost in the grocery store, everyone who got lost in a parking lot in their life. Cheers to you, my homies. No, yeah, it doesn't have to end on that negative note. I felt like I was ending it a little sad. No, I hope that what I've said can give, and my point here on this podcast is not to give hope or to share facts necessarily. It's all opinion, it's all for fun. I literally call this podcast baloney, because it's just so silly and just, like, spur of the moment. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I just want to be me. I love talking. Have you noticed? But my point is, I hope that anything I said here will benefit someone. Not only is it great to learn from the bad stuff you've gone through, not great, but literally necessary for survival. Just saying, it's a big thing to be like, believe science. Well, evolution is science, and evolution says basically the stronger you are, the better chance you have of living longer and proliferating your species better. So for everyone who believes, who loves to believe in science, I hope you believe that in evolution, and, like, we, you know, it's important to be strong. And the only person who is ever able to really carry you through life is yourself. There will never be a relationship or a parent or a child or a mentor or a family. Like, there's no one who's gonna be there with you and for you longer or more than yourself. And telling yourself that you are strong and can get through anything, believe it or not, really benefits. Anytime you're uncomfortable or in discomfort, Here's my advice, okay? Just look for the root of what's causing you the discomfort and just know that it won't last forever. Like, I feel like I just sounded really deep, and like, I'm not an expert on anything. Truly, I don't know anything, dude. This could all be my ego. I don't know. But I hope someone gets something out of it. And, yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with that. I'm cool where that went. And I'm gonna sign off for now. I hope you get a nice cup of tea, or a nice cup of joe, or a nice cup of juice. Pet a dog, pet a cat, pet a rat. And have a great day. Goodbye. Thank you.
On point, power to the peaceful, prayers to the waters, women at the center, all vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system brought down to its knees. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fine things. My father taught me that I'm a speck of dust and this world was made for me. So let's go and try our luck. Said I've got my roots down, 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 down deep. I've got my roots down, 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 down deep. I've got my roots down, down, down deep. I've got my roots down, down, down deep. So what are we doing here? What has been done? What are you gonna do about it when the world comes undone? My voice feels tiny, and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty trust the movement. I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to live.